what if we want to cycle weapons? What if we want to pick up both of those weapons, put them into slots, and then decide which slot is active and which one is not? Okay, depending on how complicated you want to make this system, because you can make it very complicated with dynamic slots that you can set by gameplay tags. Let's say that we want to just have 2 slots for weapons, and that's it. And maybe then we will add a pistol reference or whatever else, which will be just the same object type as active weapon, so BP example gun. So let's make those slots. Weapon slot 1, and let's make another one, weapon slot 2. And you know what, they can be just actors, doesn't really matter because we're using interfaces anywhere anyway. Okay, so server drop. So now when we are picking up a weapon, we have to go into server interaction, and instead of this set active weapon, we're going to do something else. We're going to do a lot of things, honestly, because we need to register those weapons in slots. So we can make where to start even? Oh my god. You know what? Let's make this active weapon an actor. Change variable type. Get. Okay, that should be fine. And no. And no, not layer actor. Actor. Just actor. Just object reference actor. Whatever you wanted. This is what I want. This is fine. And then this instead of this, and this, and this, and okay, so now block shooting, it is a BP example gun. We need to change it. We need to go into our interface and say block shooting, new function. Okay, and our function block shooting has to be block shoot question mark, so it will work the same. So input is block, and wherever we implement that, we probably, this is not even the example, yeah, this is the example gun block shooting. So we have to do this. So we go back to our template, and we have this block shooting implement, and it just does this. And it has to be triggered on the server, otherwise it won't work. Block shooting by interface. And because we just changed it to interface, from now on we don't have to really worry. Come back here. Cannot order parameters. Block shooting function. Block shooting. Block. Okay. And now, like EB barrel, this one. Now it works. Okay. No, it's still saying some strange thing. Where? You know what? Let's close it and let's reopen. And it's because of this somehow. FPS Pro interface. Okay. Where is that? honestly, I don't see this error. Block shooting. Even block shooting, set shooting. I haven't used it anywhere else, right? No. Okay. Block shooting. Message this time. Is valid, is valid. Oh, get weapon. So this is what is it? This is example interface get weapon. But where are we using this really? Let's go into our interface and let's just add a new function, get weapon, and get weapon will give an output of weapon, which is just an actor. And let's go back to our character. We ignore this get weapon. Okay, we need another one. Get barrel. Output is eb barrel component. And this is also weapon, and this is character. So we go back here, go into class settings, and we remove this example interface. Yes. And from active weapon, get barrel. Get barrel. And we should also check if the barrel is valid, but if the weapon is valid, we usually make sure that it's valid. So let's go to our here. Let's go into, okay, we got event should. I think this is because of this name. Let's just change it to a different name. Instead of block shooting, let's change it to block trigger. Okay, recompile, save, and it's probably that. Now it will, yeah, it was just naming because we have block shooting in the parent class and we had two functions of the same name, so that couldn't work. But we change it to block trigger, and this should automatically change wherever we used it, so that should be okay. 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 Now we don't need to do anything with the interface here. We need to go into our gun, but not our example gun, but our pro gun. We need to go into, again, weapon interface and get barrel, push our barrel component, and this is done, 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 and Okay, this is done. We have it all. Let's go back here. Now it's more universal. So now in our character, like you see, I told you it will take a lot of time to make it, but it will be worth it in the end. So let's just move it to weapons. And now this is just an actor, this is an actor, this is an actor. Nothing is using cast. We don't need to cast anything. Everything is just running on without cast, just on events from interface calls. So now when we want to pick up, we want to do a lot of things. So here we were just setting as active weapon this weapon, right? So in our weapon we need to also have a holster socket, probably something like that. So just find our AGR, character, mannequin, character, mesh, skeleton, and let's find some good spot on the back, unless we have one. That would be awesome. So we got this shield 2, sword 2, and if we add room 74, yeah, that's no good. Okay, let's just add a new one. Let's get on spine 03, add socket. This will be, oh, we already got weapon holster. Let's check this one. Maybe this one won't be needed. Weapon holster. Let's add preview mesh. Rule 74. Almost. Better. Okay, let's just use this one. Weapon holster, but let's parameterize it per weapon. So let's go into our Pro FPS template to ROM actor, and let's add a new holster socket. It's a name, and we compile and we just push it as a default value, which we can change per weapon, but we won't, at least for now. We just save everything, and now once we pick up a weapon, we're going to see if we have an empty slot. Maybe let's do it as a function, that will be better. So check empty slot. Return. So we're going to this one and say valid. You know what? No, not like this. We're gonna have to do it in here. That will be actually better. So we're going to see if it is valid. Then if it is valid, we're going to check if the second slot is valid. And let's move all of this a bit lower. So we are okay, that's even before attaching. This is attaching, this is weapon, this is pickup. So on pickup, let's go to the weapon and let's see again what we do on pickup. On pickup, we're setting on the ground and we're checking collision and we're setting on there. That's it. Okay, that's fine. So this is in the weapon. So here, after pickup, we need to see where do we want to attach to which component. FPS Pro socket. This is a parameter here. Socket. No. So this is holster socket, and this will be weapon socket. And this is also a name, and it's this one. And you know what? Those will be replicated because we don't want them to be editable. That's it. Or on the other hand, doesn't really matter at all. and they would be considered for replication for no reason, so they don't have to be checked. Yeah, let's go to our interface. Let's add another function, and this will be called get attach sockets, and this will give two returns. One will be, oh, and there are names, obviously, name and name, and this one will be weapon ready, and this one will be holster. Okay, compile, save, that's it. Back to the weapon, and get attached sockets. Oh, and we should push it to weapon tab. So we go back here, get attached sockets, and weapon socket is weapon ready, and holster socket is holster socket. That's it. Okay, so we go back to our character, and we're doing this. So we're getting the weapon that we pick up, and now we'll get socket message. Actually, even before that, because we want to have access to both those variables immediately. And now if oh, and do we have active weapon valid is also important later on, so we'll do this as well. Oh, and we'll need reference to active weapon anyway, so we can do it like this. Oh, this one. Okay, so this will be later. So now we want to register it in one of those slots, right? So this is slot 1 and this is slot 2. So if first slot is valid, then we want to go forward. If it's not valid, we want to just set slot 1. Simple as that, and we want to do it, and that's it. And if it is not valid here, then we want to set slot 2 to this actor. However, if both of those slots are valid, we want to drop the weapon that we have right now, because or drop the weapon that we don't have right now. I mean, probably will drop and replace the weapon that we have right now. So we need to check if the weapon that we are holding, so active weapon, in both of those cases, after we set the slot, we check if we have active weapon. So we have any weapon that was already active, and if it's not, then we want to set active weapon. If it is not valid, then set active weapon to this one. So now we have an active weapon. And if active weapon is valid, then we already have weapon, so we know that we want to attach it to our back. So we'll take our holster. So we'll do this attach to the mesh and just copy it, paste it here. So we have an active weapon, it is valid, like once again, and that means that our slot weapon will be attached to our holster socket. Okay, and same thing will happen here. Okay, so we don't have to do it like this. We can still say that this is still the same actor, so this actor. Okay, and you know what, just for simplicity I will do it like this, and this, this. So now it will be a bit more clear, maybe easier to read where this is coming from. Oh, beautiful. So we are attaching this actor to the back if it is not active weapon, but if we are setting as active weapon, we want to attach it to weapon ready. And snap to target, keep relative. That's fine. So this is assigning weapon to slot 1 or slot 2. And then we are just setting the as active weapon if we don't have active weapon. Let's test it. Oh, and obviously we have to do all this, but this happens only if we attached as active weapon. So this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, and that's it. I know it looks intimidating, but trust me, it will make a lot of sense once we add a lot of comments. And target is this. Why this form? Oh, okay, it still has two connected. It has to have only one connection. Okay, that's it. So now what should happen is I pick up one gun and pick up second gun, and something is not right. Let's detach and let's see. Okay, so it attached both of them to my back pretty much, one on each other. Components in the same actor. What? I think I screwed something up with attaching. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, this did happen. Okay, and this one should go to the back. Oh, but we don't want to drop weapon anymore. So we have to go back here. We don't want to drop weapon. So this armed, this entire drop weapon thing, right? We are just skipping it right now. Just like this. So we're not dropping weapon, but this is the logic for dropping weapon. We're going back here. We're doing a pickup. We're doing a pickup. And okay, I think I know what we did wrong. Let's go back here. So only when you so we do like this. So we go here, we get sockets, and then weapon slot 1 is not valid, so we set weapon 1 and it is set, and then it's saying is active weapon valid, it's saying not valid, then we set active weapon to whatever it was, so the slot 1 weapon, and then we attach, and then we do those relative transforms and everything. Okay, and then we set attach. So what we shouldn't do, we shouldn't change the animations, so we are skipping this, and then go server interact, and then get overlay pose. Okay, so this one is now not happening here. Yeah, this entire thing is not happening here. This thing is happening here. This is happening only if you have an active weapon. So we shouldn't change animation. We pick up the first weapon, we set the animations from the first weapon, it's perfect. Then we pick up the second weapon, and second weapon should go on our back, and it did. It works as intended. We got two weapons, and now if I go back into myself, I can aim, I can shoot, I can reload, and I got those two weapons. But now we want to swap those weapons, right?